What is up, guys? Good evening. I'm with my co-host Charlie Crane and our guest spot Steve DeVito. How you guys doing today?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm
I'm
good.
good.
Thanks for having me on again. It's a joy.
Nah,
Yeah,
absolutely. You were highly requested as another guest,
I
so
appreciate that.
they had to
Yeah.
get you back on. But I think the first thing we're talking about today is the Super Bowl. Did anybody here expect that? Because I definitely didn't.
No, I definitely did. Well, I said the Buccaneers were going to win. I definitely didn't think it was going to be a blowout like that. But I thought in the end that Tom Brady would win because he's the GOAT. That's why.
No, I went with the Chiefs, which obviously was wrong. Like I was not confident at all. But I did not think that the Bucks would dominate that line like they did. Like Patrick Mahomes ran almost like 500 yards scrambling in the pocket. I don't even think it's his fault. It was just like all phases of the game, complete domination by the Bucks.
No, it's definitely wasn't his fault at all. I mean, I think it just goes to show like how important the offensive line position is in football because when you're missing like two offensive linemen, it's like it doesn't help because like you said, Mahomes is scrambling for 500 yards. He can't. He's throwing the ball like parallel, like he's throwing like a sidearm pitch.
Yeah,
Like it's
he's
absurd.
parallel to the ground. Like it wasn't even like no. I don't think anyone would question that. I think the Bucks 100% deserve to win the game. Like,
Yeah.
I think they might have won even with the
Yeah,
healthy offensive line.
But the offensive line is the left tackle is probably the most important position in the sport. And
It is.
The Chiefs have a pretty solid one in Eric Fisher, and they have an all-pro right tackle in Mitchell Schwartz. And that's some of the keys to their success. It's not only Patrick Mahomes and not having.
Yeah, no, and I think offensive linemen are I think genuinely like underappreciated.
Yeah,
in all of football.
If
Like,
you look at all the teams that win Super Bowls, they usually have very good offensive lines, and that's part of the reason why they get there because their quarterback has time to throw and they have time to run.
yeah, and like Patrick Mahomes, who seemingly does like the unbelievable so much. Like, I think it just proves like without an offensive line, like that can't happen consistently.
No, they didn't even have Osemele either.
I know, like it was completely depleted.
And
Like,
Tardif, I mean, he's a great guy. He took off the season to help with COVID efforts because he's a doctor, but he was a great guard for them last year when they won the Super Bowl. He didn't play either this season. So, and Mike Remmer's out there.
yeah, no,
You're
yeah,
going to have to make the Giants. So, I don't know what.
yeah.
His Super Bowl game at left tackle.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, besides O-line, I mean, defense definitely played a really huge role in winning them that game.
Yeah, and I was really worried about like the back end of the Bucks defense. It's like I mean like I know that I think like at the end of the regular season, Antoine Winfield had the highest passer rating against, and he was going to have a lot of pressure on him with Tyreek Hill over the top. But like I give credit to Todd Bowles and the Bucks defense because like they weren't even a factor in the game.
Yeah, and Carlton Davis got eaten alive the first time. I think Hill went 9 out of 10 on just him, 200 something yards, 2 or 3 tutties, and he was just absolutely just destroying him.
Yeah, and it was like only primarily at the first quarter.
Really clamped him up. But I always knew Winfield was legit in that secondary. I wasn't sure about the corner. What's the other corner's name? Not besides Carlton Davis, the other guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. The only one I know is Carlton Davis.
Murphy Bunting. He was solid out there. Carlton.
No, as a unit, they were solid. I think if you want to talk about coaching, I think Todd Bowles was Super Bowl MVP.
He might honestly become a head coach soon. He might get another shot at it.
I think he might. He wasn't bad with the Jets.
I think he should stick to coordinator. I mean,
I
he did give us a 9-7 season. He did give us a 9-7.
I think he's a better coordinator than a head coach.
Yeah, I think some guys are built like to be defensive coordinators. Like
I agree.
Patrick Graham said his dream job is to be the Giants defensive coordinator. Let's hope he doesn't want to head coach.
I love Patrick Graham. I love him. I hope he never leaves. I think he will. I think he will.
I mean,
I think as long as Judge is there, he's there.
Bowles was also the defensive coordinator with the Cardinals, right? That's how him and Arians got associated with one another.
I don't know if he was a coordinator, but he was on Arians' staff.
Yeah,
he was on Arians' staff. I don't think he was the coordinator though, but he was definitely on the staff with Arians.
He was on.
I know he was on the Cardinals before he went to the Jets.
He was.
I know that for a fact.
It also key to winning championships is having good coordinators like Parcells and Belichick was the defensive coordinator for the Giants. That's what.
It's where he got his start. But
yeah, definitely.
No, I mean, like, I don't know. I wish it was like a shootout. That's kind of what I was expecting. I don't really have any complaints with the game. Like
I think everyone that wasn't a Bucks or a Chiefs fan was wanted a shootout between the two goats.
Well, Mahomes will never catch.
No, I was about to say
he can't now. He needed Because
he's about to enter his prime. He lost to a 43-year-old quarterback.
Even if Mahomes matches Brady on Super Bowls, Brady will always have the head-to-head over him.
Mahomes can win this many rings, and he will still not be my GOAT.
I don't know.
Many. I don't care. I don't care.
If he wins 10 Super Bowls,
nope.
And I assume Brady's done. Brady's done now.
Well, we don't even know if Brady might have 20 years left.
I'm saying hypothetically, Brady's won his last Super Bowl. Mahomes gets to 10 rings. You don't think there's any chance that Mahomes is the GOAT?
I think the closest chance of being the next GOAT is Trevor Lawrence, not Patrick Mahomes.
I think it's Trey Lance. Putting it out there right now.
Listen.
I'm kidding.
Listen, Mahomes has a stacked offense. I know the offensive line wasn't there, but you have I think the offense as a whole with the Chiefs definitely underperformed on Super Bowl Sunday. But like when you have Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, both of whom like lead the league in receptions and receiving yards and all that other stuff, like they were dynamic offense. And then to just go out and then just get shut down by Tom Brady and co. Just
yeah. And I say one more thing. It looks awful for Bieniemy. Looks really bad for Bieniemy.
That poor guy. He's just never getting a job.
I don't like. Everyone was like, man, like he was snubbed last year. Like he was the first candidate to miss out, and like I to see like his like baby implode, especially with the Bucs offensive coordinator's name is escaping me. He was the backup for like the Steelers. I can't.
Byron Leftwich.
Thank you. And like I think his like pedigree grew a lot with this game because they had a really good game plan. But I think Bieniemy has had a disastrous offseason because he didn't get a head coaching job. And he had a bad display in the last game of the season, the biggest game of the season. It was just bad for him.
And they haven't renewed his contract for next year
yet. I think they will. I think they will,
but I don't.
But like, imagine if he ends up as like a positional coach somewhere, like after like almost.
That would be a huge fall from grace.
I don't think his stock would fall that far. Who still needs an offensive coordinator now?
I don't know, but I think he should have took the Texans job. Honestly,
I would have.
I would just jump on it and rebuild them to be something. I don't know.
I would have because if you
leave, you know what I'm saying? He's not allowed to leave. Like he's still like in his like they can still have conversations with him, but he just.
I mean, if I was, but even let's say even if he leaves, like you trade Deshaun Watson, you get enough picks where like you do actually have stuff to rebuild with. Like so, it's not like I don't think the Texans job is hopeless. I think their coaching hire.
They're a disaster right now.
I think their coaching hire was awful. Like awful. Like
they're in a dumpster fire right now.
No,
if they do get the value for Deshaun Watson, if he's gone, it'll be a promising team to work with.
He's worth at least 3 1s.
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially when you saw what Stafford went for, he's worth 3 1s.
I did not think Stafford was worth 2 1s.
I didn't think he was worth 2 1s. I'm like Jared Goff. I honestly think he's like he could be like he's only I think he's an above.
He's
average
decent.
QB.
He's decent.
I think he's an above average QB.
Imagine how many 1s Russell Wilson would possibly get if he gets traded.
Like 5, 4.
Nah. I'd say 3 with a few like second rounders or maybe like a key defensive player because they could use something like that.
But like no, but like I don't. I think if you're trading Russell Wilson, you're not worrying about like stirring up the defense. Like if you trade Russell Wilson, you either want like equal value or like blow it all up.
I would honestly send him to the Jets if I was the Seahawks for like their 2 first-round picks this year, a first rounder next year, and some late and like middle round picks, and just go to 2 and take Zach Wilson and then just build from there. Honestly, if I was a Seahawks,
I don't think it's a bad option, but I wouldn't trade
their roster so much. Like they have to pay him like potentially $50 million.
I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd trade Russell Wilson now.
I wouldn't. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the game. But for like a rebuilding standpoint, like do they really think they can get it done with the team they have now? They do.
I don't know. I mean, I no longer believe in them. I no longer believe in them as like a serious playoff contender.
Honestly, if the Texans have Caserio, who worked with the Patriots, I might trust them.
I don't think Caserio is that great of a hire. Just like I don't think being in the room with Bill Belichick makes you qualified.
Well, I think he definitely has the tutelage of Bill Belichick.
Yeah, we've seen that with Joe Judge.
I mean, no, obviously Joe Judge is great, but like in general, like, I don't think the Patriots in the last couple of years, I don't think they've like drafted that well, especially with like their first and second round picks. Like
no, but the guy they got in the 5th round this year was really good. the offensive.
Yeah.
He offensive tackle from Michigan, the right tackle. Yeah, he was very good, and obviously, like,
Michael Onwenu.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Can
know
we
he
can we
was good.
can we switch gears over to Trevor Bauer in the MLB
Yeah.
world? Thoughts?
You know, talk about Bauer.
Well, I mean, we're all talking in our group chat. I thought he was a lock to come to the Mets, and Sal was getting on board. I made Sal very upset. And, I thought he was a for sure lock to come to the Mets, and I was wrong. I downplayed how much geography would have a factor in his decision. He's from LA, but the thing, his antics with the Mets, I don't even want him anymore.
I don't like Bauer.
I don't like. I hate him. I can't wait to watch Lindor, Alonso just hit nukes off of him.
I don't like. I just think like he thinks he is the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
He's top 10.
No, he was trying to make his announcement like LeBron to South Beach.
LeBron
Yeah.
without the rings.
And you know what's funny? The funny thing is that if he were to come to the Mets, he'd be doing all these shenanigans on Twitter, and then Jacob deGrom, like the real GOAT, is just sitting there, just like focusing more about like pitching than like Twitter, and which is what you should be doing.
He's dominating DeGrom. He doesn't talk. You know what I'm saying? Bauer's just a chirper, and I thought it would be good for the locker room to have one of those guys that just gets you fired up. But he was going to be
He's the guy that gets fired up when he refuses to give up the ball when his manager comes out and chucks it over the fence.
Yeah, no, and I hear what you're saying about firing other guys up. Like he has been a locker room problem everywhere he's been. Everywhere.
Well, it did ease me like my feelings of the signing when Lindor kind of gave the seal of approval. I like that the Mets are going to Lindor now because it shows that he's going to be the franchise player. Like they said, what do you think about him? Because that's important to them. And he said he's a good teammate. So maybe we're reading too much into him because he is a personality. He could be misunderstood, but after what he did on Twitter and all the shenanigans with the Mets hat,
no. I think in hindsight, in a couple of years, you might look back on this move and say like, it would have been nice, but like we really didn't miss out on that much.
No, we definitely didn't need him.
We definitely did not. And if we can add James Paxton to the rotation, you're a Yankees fan. I mean.
No, I was very honest with you. I said James Paxton is a solid pitcher, but he has a lot. He has a bad start in him, and if the sinker, I think it's the sinker. I think the sinker is his pitch. It's like a down fastball. I don't remember which one. But
it's like you're a Yankees fan. I don't know how much passion that takes. So I'm gonna add. I can ask you about James Paxton though, because the thing is, I saw it. Matthew Boyd said that James Paxton's an ace. Is he an ace?
No.
You can tell me that part at least.
No, he is a in your rotation.
He'd be our 6 when Syndergaard comes back, but that is some 6 to have. He's probably a 2 or 3 starter everywhere.
In my opinion, he's a 3. He's like a 2.5, 3 kind of guy. I think he's like if you have a bad rotation, he's a 2. If you have like an average rotation, he's a 3.
I think he's the highest upside guy left with Taijuan Walker. I would not give money to Jake Arrieta. I think that's a complete joke. He has a 5 ERA.
I like James Paxton, but like
Turner, I would do that too to spite the Dodgers. Haven't played there.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm all for spiting the Dodgers after this. I already wanted to go buy tickets after the Dodgers got Trevor Bauer. I was like, let's get tickets for when they play in Citi Field. Like, I'm ready. I'll never forget this. I will never forget this. This is like the Chase Utley slide into Ruben Tejada for me. Like it's that bad. Like I will never forgive. I will never forgive.
Me neither. Chase Utley's a joke.
Nah, Chase Utley is a joke, but that's for another day.
Yeah, he's a joke.
But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't blame you guys. I think I would be mad too, but it's at the end of the day, he was a luxury. I always thought that center field was your priority position, and you guys are welcome to disagree with that. But
I agree.
I don't think.
Actually, no, I don't agree because it depends. Now that the universal DH isn't a thing,
more of a hole than center field, if you ask me. I mean, I think JD Davis, his fielding is atrocious.
I honestly didn't think you'd care about that.
I don't really care about defensive baseball. I just want guys that can mash it, but the dude has the worst defensive run saved in the sport. And he's not even hitting. He was not hitting it well last year. I mean, he had a great 2019, 307, 22 home runs, something like that. But last year was terrible. And
I still think that the shortened season, like, it makes a lot of people look a lot worse than they are. It makes a lot of people look a lot
there's two
better.
narratives. Like if the guy did really well last year, it's like, oh, he's amazing. But if he did bad, it's like, oh, it was 2020 shortened season. So
No, I know. I've been trying to say that about the people who did well last year. Like I was saying that about Bauer. Like
no, I know you were. Yeah,
So was I.
Yeah, like I'm like I've tried to be consistent that like I'm not gonna put too much weight on that shortened season because I think some people are gonna be inflated because like you only have to do it in a 60-game stretch and like there's some people that are just gonna bottom out. Like so I'm not.
Some guys rose onto the scene last year, like Devin Williams from Rookie of the Year. He was a filthy reliever, and I think it's safe to call him like one of the elite relievers, even though he only played last year. You know what I'm saying? Like just
I don't know if I'd call him elite. I don't think I'd call him an elite reliever yet.
I don't know. I think he's one of the top 5, top 10 relievers in the game. But I understand what you're saying though about Bauer and stuff like that. We can't read too much into that. But 2018 he was an all-star. Looked like Cy Young, got hurt in 2019 and towards the end of 18.
No, I definitely I also like I would worry about just like the like what it means to be paying like Trevor Bauer more than like the best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah. Well, deGrom, we stole deGrom. I think we're paying deGrom until 2035 or something like that. I read. We're deferring his money like insanely. We're giving him with the Bobby Bonilla contract.
The Bobby Bonilla. No, and I accept like deGrom is like actually like I think you're getting him on a great price.
Literally filthy. But I think we should restructure his contract too because he hasn't opted after next year, and I would kind of want to fix that. Extending Lindor and Ford on. I want to fix that. Maybe extend Noah.
But yeah, but we're talking about the Knicks now. Derrick Rose trade.
I liked it.
What do you think?
I liked it. I think him and Tibbs work really well together. He's been everywhere Tibbs is.
Tibbs is like in love with him. He brings him everywhere he goes.
I know they're buddies like that, but I think he'll be a great mentor. He said he wants to go out to dinner with Quickly and Toppin. Toppin definitely needs to go out to dinner with him and listen to what he has to say because he's not down.
In fairness to Toppin, he's not even playing. Like he's getting like what? Like
dude, I mean, the best thing he did was motivate Julius Randle out there. Julius Randle looks like a bat out of hell right now.
No, because like I feel like Toppin's playing like 6 minutes a game, and Randle plays pretty much the whole game.
No, I kind of concerned me though because Derrick Rose tore his ACL. Is it because he makes his players play 40 minutes a game?
Yeah, I mean no, but like that's always who he's been. He was known like the Bulls. He played like 8-man rotations. Like,
he's better at coaching young teams than coaching superstar teams because he
likes
the ground.
If you want to talk about atrocities on the Knicks, though, how about Elfrid Payton? That guy is a bum.
I don't hate Elfrid.
I actually don't agree with that. Like
I don't agree with that at all. I think he puts in tons of effort.
I think that when the fans come back to MSG, I think he's gonna get an earful from the fans.
I don't know. Obviously, Elfrid Payton is not the future.
He's not. Look, I never thought he was good, but every time I say he's bad, he's dropping 20 points the next year.
No, I don't actually think he's like a very good basketball player. But you cannot say he does not want to win. You can't say that.
Yeah, but the future of this team, though, I think we all can agree.
It's quickly at the one. And personally,
I don't know about that. Can he play off ball? Maybe we'll see.
No, quickly. I think it's quickly at the one.
This team will go as far as RJ Barrett takes them this year and in the coming years because he has the most superstar qualities out of any of the guys.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you missed a lefty layup though at the buzzer.
Oh god, it was a good shot. You couldn't have drawn it up any better. You could not have drawn it up any better.
I know it's a shot you want to. He's a lefty going to his left. Jimmy Butler fell down. Just all you do is lay it up. You couldn't even do that.
No, I still have a lot of belief in RJ Barrett.
Oh, I do. I mean, I'm a Duke fan. I love RJ Barrett. I think he can ball, but I mean, you have to tell it the time. You have to put the right piece.
So I think the key with RJ Barrett is just learning what kind of shots he's good at.
He's not a good shooter. He's not a great shooter.
He's not a good shooter.
He's not a good shooter. I think
flasher, but he's not a great
shooter.
Like
I see him a lot of times like sitting on the wing, like looking like spot up for a three. I'm like, I don't think that's your game. Like I think he needs to learn. I think he needs to learn to find spots on the court where he can be efficient because he's just not. He wasn't efficient in college. He's not efficient now.
There's a lot of superstars that can't shoot. Like Giannis cannot shoot consistently. Westbrook, he was triple doubles, couldn't really shoot the ball well. Some guys are great at getting to the basket. I think if his jump shot becomes good, I think he's a very, very solid player. But right now he's still learning.
Yeah. And he's tons of time. I'm not worried about him at all. I'm not even worried about Toppin. He's not playing.
I definitely would include him in a trade to get LaVine or Beal. That I do. I wanted to sell him high on Sunday when he dunked the ball. I thought we just should get rid of him and just capitalize on that.
No, like the thing with LaVine, his contract's up in in 2 years.
But the
2
Knicks,
years?
the Knicks have 90 million of 100.
No, I know. I'm saying his contract. So like, if we wait a year, shouldn't we have the leverage over the Bulls?
I'd rather just get him in the building now, honestly, because if we
I don't know, because I think if you talk about last year of the contract, I think the value is like drastically different. Because if
if
he
we get Levine for like, let's say like Toppin, Knox, give him all our lottery guys that didn't work out, and like a couple ones and stuff like that, and some twos. But we keep ones. I saw like we keep ones in like every year. Why wouldn't we do that? We could
if
definitely.
we like would you do like Knox? Would you do like Knox the Mavs pick?
The
Would
Mavs
you-
pick this year,
Yeah,
I think the Mavs pick's gonna be better than the Knicks pick. So
I think so too. But I think like the Bulls know that as well. So like that's what I'm saying. I would definitely give up Knox.
They eliminated the national anthem, so karma's really not on their side right now. But all I'm gonna say is I definitely think that the Mavericks pick is gonna be better.
I don't think the Mavericks are gonna make the playoffs. I've watched them a couple times. I think they look dreadful. I think they look so bad.
Yeah,
Like
the Mavs suck.
it's poor shooting, slow offense. It's just like Luka doing like a pick and roll, finding nobody, getting double team. It's just bad. It's just really bad.
Yeah, after Doncic.
No, the Mavs play ugly basketball. It's ugly.
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot of faith in them at all.
Knicks could be a playoff team. That's
I look.
You think so?
I definitely the 10 teams make it. You're gonna tell me the Knicks aren't one of the 10 best teams in the East?
I think we are. I think we are.
Yeah.
The Pistons, like, have you seen some of these teams?
The Pistons are
The Pistons are
so
disgraceful.
bad. So
Pistons.
bad. Who would you want in the draft? Like, let's say hypothetically we have 2 top 10 picks. Let's say we don't make the playoffs and the lottery goes our way.
How
We
high-
have like
how high, how high are we picking in the draft?
let's say we have like 5 and 8, like just like not like top because that would be really really lucky, but like you'd have to get some luck.
Like Cade Cunningham's ideal, but
No, but Cade Cunningham is not going to go past 1. He's the best player in the draft.
I like the point guard from Auburn. I don't remember his name right now because I haven't watched as much college as I normally do. But I like what I saw from him. I think he could be a very good point guard in Tibbs' system.
I like the Gonzaga point guard. Suggs,
I don't know if he'll be there at 5 though. I think he'd be gone.
I think he might be there at 5. I think 4 or 5 is like at least as of now. Because like so much of that like really depends on the tournament. Because like I think there's definitely like a recency bias in the NBA. Like,
is Duke making the tournament? I know it's just a
No.
random interjection.
no,
but
they're not. They're not.
They're
It's gonna
not.
be UNC. It's gonna be UNC as like a bad seed. It's only be one of them.
I think
UNC just won.
I think Duke will make it in the end, hopefully. But
Unless they
the whole thing. That's all I know. We're winning the whole thing this year.
do you think they're not going to be in the tournament, will they?
They could? I mean, they're in first place in the Patriot League right now in their conference. Their section of the Patriot League is divided into 3. I mean, Justin Jaworski might be the number 1 pick, but we have to see that. But I mean, we definitely,
All right.
but
All right.
relax.
We definitely have a good team.
All right, I think it's gonna be it for today. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for listening, and
Thanks, Steve, for
thank you
coming
so much.
on.
Thank you so much for coming on.
I appreciate it.
Bye.